pregnant, pregnant. I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant. How long have you been pregnant? How long have you been pregnant? It's not good for pregnant women. It's not good for pregnant women. Pregnancy, pregnancy. During pregnancy, during pregnancy. Examine, examine. I have to examine nearly 20 patients a day. I have to examine nearly 20 patients a day. Let me examine you. Let me examine you. Have medical examination. Have medical examination. I want to have medical examination. Medical examination. I want to have medical examination. You should have medical examination every 6 months. You should have medical examination every 6 months. Regular. Have regular medical examination. Have regular medical examination. Have regular medical examination. Have regular examination. You should have regular medical examination. You should have regular medical examination. You should have regular examination. Have regular examination during pregnancy. Have regular examination during pregnancy. It's very important to have regular examination during pregnancy. It's very important to have regular examination during pregnancy. Having regular examination during pregnancy is very important. Having regular examination during pregnancy is very important. Regular examination during pregnancy is very important. Regular examination during pregnancy is very important. Have a blood test. Have a blood test. You have to have a blood test. You have to have a blood test. Have a urine test. Have a urine test. You should have a urine test. Urine. You should have a urine test. Have ultrasound. Have ultrasound. Have you had ultrasound? Have you had ultrasound? Have a pap test. Have a pap test. Have a pap smear. Pap smear. You should have a pap test every 6 months. You should have a pap smear every 6 months. You should have a pap smear every 6 months. Pap smear. Pap test. Detect cervical cancer. Detect cervical cancer. Pap smear helps to detect cervical cancer. Pap smear helps to detect cervical cancer. The sex of your baby. The sex of your baby. Your baby sex. Your baby sex. When do I find out my baby sex? When do I find out my baby sex? Determine the sex of your baby. Determine the sex of your baby. Identify the sex of your baby. Identify the sex of your baby. Ultrasound helps to determine the sex of your baby. Ultrasound helps to determine the sex of your baby. Amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid. You have too much amniotic fluid. You have too much amniotic fluid. You have high amniotic fluid level. You have high amniotic fluid level. You have too little amniotic fluid. You have too little amniotic fluid. You have low amniotic fluid level. You have low amniotic fluid level. Fetal abnormalities. Fetal abnormality. Fetal abnormalities. Test an ultrasound. Test an ultrasound helps to identify the fetal abnormalities. Test an ultrasound helps to identify the fetal abnormalities. Test an ultrasound helps to identify the fetal abnormalities. Test an ultrasound helps to identify the fetal abnormalities.